So a lot of people have been asking me if Venom is going to be in the MCU. Actually, no one's asked me that. But I've been asking myself that a lot, and there's a lot of conflicting rumors. One being that he is going to be in the MCU, and others being that he won't. So let's discuss whether or not he should be, and why he should be, because there's actually no other argument. So if I'm being honest with us, I don't honestly think that he's going to end up being in the MCU. I think that right now, even as I record this video, there's probably some studio executives from Marvel and some studio executives from Sony battling it out and discussing how much Marvel's going to pay them to have Venom and Carnage and this guy and that guy and every single other Spider-Man villain in the MCU. And Marvel's not going to, they're not going to just bow down to every single command that Sony has, because at the end of the day, they got what they wanted, and that was just Spider-Man. They did not care about the rest of that. I really don't think they could care less about Venom, and I really don't think they care less about Green Goblin, or frankly any other character. I think they got their character, and that was Spider-Man. But at the end of the day, Sony is going to try to push their way into more Marvel movies with more money coming from Marvel. They're going to pay more of these royalty checks. And so to push Marvel's hand, they're going to try to push out this Sony Venom movie that may or may not be a part of the MCU. Now, that is obviously ridiculous. It's not like they pulled a character out of their ass and said, hey, I don't know, fucking Wheel, the giant wheel, or I don't know, who's another character? Molten Man? They didn't pull these characters out and make movies about them. They decided, hey, we're going to make a movie about Venom. You know that character that everyone knows is a Spider-Man villain? Yeah, we're going to make a villain movie about him. Also, here's another thing. Should Venom even have a fucking movie? I honestly don't think so. Inherently, a movie about a bad guy, the bad guy has to win. Now, Venom is one of those characters that has translated well into being an anti-hero and has had comics that, are pretty well received, I guess, to some degree. But at the end of the day, do we need a Venom movie? Because this is going to spark them. They're going to do a Carnage movie. They're going to do a Green Goblin movie. They're going to do a Shocker movie. They're going to do this guy, that guy, and the other guy until we've been beaten to fucking death with not just superhero movies, but super villain movies. And not just super villain movies, but specifically Spider-Man super villain movies. And none of them are that interesting. I like fucking Venom. I think that's a cool looking character. You know what he'd be really good at? He'd be really good at being a villain is what he'd be good at. So why don't we just focus on having our characters, our real, main characters, the heroes, go through their arcs and not try to send these villains off into their own arcs and focus on the real characters at the end of the day. That would be my argument, but hey, I'm the one sitting in my mom's house making a fucking YouTube video about this shit, and they're the ones making real movies. So, actually, that's really sad. But anyway, is this movie going to be a part of the MCU? I honestly don't think so. But this could go two ways. This could be a good thing, and here's why. It could be that they're actually making just a really good movie. It could be like a Logan or a Dark Knight situation where they're just really focused on making a really good movie that happens to be about the character Venom. They could be doing something like that, where this character just so happens to be the main character in a film that really doesn't necessarily have to be about superheroes. And if that's the case, then cool, go ahead, make your movies about supervillains and shit. I don't really give a fuck. But at the end of the day, it should be a part of the MCU. I just don't think it's going to be. So let me know what you guys think. Is Venom going to be a part of the MCU? And if so, is it going to be this Tom Hardy villain? Or is it going to be some other guy? Or is it going to be just not in the MCU at all? I don't know. Let me know down in the comment section. I'll reply to some of your comments. Probably all of them. I really like replying to comments. Is there anything else I'm missing? Nope.